This video is sponsored by Goofy Getaways.
Good morning from Universal Studios Orlando. I'm doing something really cool today. Goofy Getaways invited me to come do a private VIP tour with them. So we are gonna ride all kinds of stuff today and do it the bougie style. So I'm very excited. I have never done a VIP tour at Universal before. I'm taking you along to show you kind of how it goes to see if maybe it's something that you would want to do on your trip to Universal. So when you check in to your tour, it's so loud right here. This is all like the ticketing area, and then you're gonna look for this fountain, and the VIP entrance is gonna be right over here. So I'm just waiting for the rest of my Goofy Getaways fam, because I got here a little bit early, but then we're gonna go eat some breakfast. I'll show you kind of what they offer. So we've made it into the park. As you can see, there's literally no one around us. We are starting out with breakfast. So it seems like we're heading to La Bamba, which is kind of like the lounge for VIP tours for breakfast and I think lunch too. So that is where we are heading first. Now breakfast is before your tour. So our tour starts at 9 officially. Your check-in is usually about 8:30, and then he's taking us over to breakfast now. So I've heard it's more like a continental type breakfast, so like pastries and things like that. But of course I will show you when we get in there what all they got. Breakfast was actually really good. So we had that at Cafe La Bamba. It was kind of buffet style. They had a lot more options than I thought that they would. So they even had bacon and eggs and potatoes. And then they also had these little it was like a brisket eggs Benedict situation. Delicious. My tum-tum is very, very full, but that was very, very yummy. And then you also do get lunch. So lunch you can kind of do whatever. You can do a sit-down restaurant, or you can do a quick service. You just let your guide know, and then they will make the arrangements for you. So pretty easy. We don't know where we're gonna eat yet. We haven't decided, but of course I will show you when we get there. Then as far as how the day actually goes, you're pretty fluid on being able to do pretty much whatever you want. I think our goal today is to hit a lot of like the big heavy hitter attractions, but the big perk and draw with VIP tours is that you don't have to wait in line for anything. We get kind of like backdoor access, I guess you could say, of these rides and attractions. So we'll be able to get a ton done between both parks with this tour today. So I think we're actually starting in Islands first, because there is a chance that it could rain later today, and a lot of the attractions at Islands are outside, and they usually will close if there's lightning in the area. So I think we are heading over to the Hogwarts Express, maybe? I don't actually know, but we're heading over to Islands to ride our first ride. First ride, Hagrids! So again, with the VIP tour, you don't have to wait in lines, which is fantastic. So we're actually going in like the back way for Hagrids. So we're going like in through the exit. And this is kind of a big deal for this attraction because this one does not have Express Pass. So this is pretty much the only ride I think that doesn't offer Express Passes. So being able to skip the line for this is a great way to start the day. That was a lot of adrenaline first thing in the morning. So another cool thing about the VIP tours is, so if you want to do a ride again, you can. So we actually just rode Hagrids twice. Keep in mind, you can't film on like most of pretty much any of the rides here at Universal. So I will try and insert some of like the professional footage so you can see a little bit, but that was fun. And if you can ride twice, I recommend doing once in the like on the bike and then once like in the sidecar. Totally different experience. Okay, ride number 2 is Flight of the Hippogriff. I've actually never done this because it almost is like always closed when I'm here. So this is a new ride for me. So ride number 3/4 of the day was Forbidden Journey. I don't ride that ride because it makes me very, very ill. But I asked, I was like, can we go look through the queue while everyone else rides the ride? And he was like, well, why don't I just take you all through the queue? So he took us through this, like, basically we went through the elevator and then we went in this like different entrance that kind of took us through the express line. So we could go through and see like all of the really cool stuff in that queue, because this probably has one of the most detailed themed queues in this park. And then basically we end right there at the like exit of the ride. So everyone who wanted to ride it, they got to hop right on, and then the rest of us went ahead and just exited through the gift shop. And so now we're just hanging out waiting for them to ride. But that was very cool. Like, I love that I still got to kind of experience a little bit of that ride without getting super sick. So that was really great. So far, I am very impressed. I think you get a really great value out of this tour. Granted, I will be super transparent that I did not pay for this. Goofy Getaways did like sponsor me to come be with them today. So like there is going to be that factor, but I am very impressed with the value that you get out of this tour between the meals that you get and just the experience. And our tour guide, he's amazing. Love him. He's fantastic. Time for a butterbeer break. Now, your snacks are not necessarily included, but you do get a VIP discount, which is great to know. So, get you a butterbeer. Got a little wet on that one. So that was Jurassic Park River Adventure. I love that ride. We sat in the back thinking maybe we would get less wet. That was not the case. So, oh well. But we're actually getting ready to go ride another water ride, Popeyes. This one is kind of like a raft ride situation. Similar to like Cali River Rapids at Disney. So if you've ever done like more of those raft river rides, we're gonna do this one as a group. And I'm excited because I don't think that any of the other ones have ridden this one before, except for Amy. So this should be very fun. Also for time reference, it's 11:24, so we are already like halfway done with this park in just a couple hours. So it definitely has saved us a ton of time. And I really enjoy just that extra level of knowledge that your tour guide has, that they can tell you about the rides. And it's just a lot of fun. I'm enjoying my day. You're enjoying your day, yes?
Absolutely. I would also say that, like, we've gotten a lot done, but you don't feel like you have to rush from one thing to another. It's like we're just at a nice, lovely pace.
Been pretty chill.
And yet we're getting so much accomplished.
Oh, yes. I think Popeyes might be one of my favorite water rides ever. It's so fun. I won't lie. You are going to be drenched head to toe, like head to toe. So, and I don't think ponchos will help, to be honest. But oh, wow, that was so fun. 10 out of 10 recommend. That's like the best, especially when you're with like your family or like a group of people. Oh my gosh, it's just such a blast. I hope I got a few good video clips in there because that was, wow, that was so funny. I'm so drenched though, literally. I can like wring out my skirt and it just keeps dumping water. Oh my gosh, the best.
That was amazing. I've never heard any praise. I'm glad the guy I just said Jesus changed the
Velocicoaster, check. I didn't ride that. That ride's a little too stressful for me. I have done it before, so like I have done it, but I can't do that ride. But everybody else did, and it was so good. It was cool. We actually got to go kind of like backstage and get a really cool slow-mo video of them. That was really fun. And we got to learn a little bit of some cool stuff that they do in the queue. There's one area where you can see the coaster like go by. And I got a video of it, but when the coaster goes by, it turns red, and then on the windows, there's like little holograms of velociraptors that like run across the windows. It was so cool. It was so fun. And then we also learned that there's around the corner from the entrance, you'll find these two velociraptor statues. And those are actually like remnants from when they used to have the Dueling Dragons coaster. So very cool. I love that. We're getting to learn some extra fun facts of things that I had no idea about. And now it's time for lunch. So as I mentioned earlier, you do get lunch included. You can choose to do a quick service or you can do a sit-down meal. We are actually going to go dine at Mythos, which I'm very excited about. I've always heard Mythos is fantastic food. I've never eaten there before. We are heading there now, and then we will be off to ride some more rides. I think we're probably going to head to Studios after that and hit up some rides over there. So we just finished up with lunch. That was delicious. So with your VIP tour, you do get your meals included. So we opted to do Mythos, which is a sit-down Mediterranean style restaurant. It's actually like it's like a really top-rated restaurant, like theme park restaurant and stuff. So we've always wanted to dine there. It was very good. You actually get a lot of food with your, like basically your meal entitlement. So each guest does get an entree and their own dessert. They also can get a non-alcoholic beverage. And then we also got appetizers for the table. So that was really nice that you get plenty of food. If you opt to get alcoholic beverages, you'll just have to pay additional or like pay separately for those. But the nice thing too is that with your meal entitlement, gratuity is automatically already included. So the only thing that you're having to pay for is the alcoholic beverages if you choose to do those. We got the spanakopita dip, which is basically like a Mediterranean take on a spinach dip. Delicious. That was probably my favorite thing of the meal. Super, super good. I also got the roasted salmon, which the salmon itself was cooked pretty decent. There was something about the flavors that just wasn't like meshing with me. It had a carrot puree, which I like carrot puree, but for some reason, mixed with the other stuff, like a weirdly like sweet taste. I don't know. It was good. I don't know that I personally like loved my salmon, but that's okay. And then for dessert, I got the chocolate hazelnut creme brulee, which was very, very tasty. It was like Nutella pudding. It's the best way I can describe it. We also had a baklava that tasted almost like a very cinnamony apple pie baklava. That was very, very good, and it had like just kind of like a nice nuttiness like baklava has. So that was also good. But now we're headed back on the train, heading over to Studios. All right, this is ride number 9, I think, of the day. We're somewhere around there. So Transformers we just did. That is a 3D like with screens ride, and it's very, very loud. So that's actually one that I don't personally do, but the guys all did that. They had a blast. Same thing with this one. This Rip Ride Rocket is a little intense for me. So they're riding that now. I'm hanging out, getting some fun footage. But that is nice to know that like you are not required to go on every single ride. If some of your party want to do a ride and some of them don't, obviously you are going to want to try and prioritize the rides that you all want to do together first. But if there are some of those rides that, you know, half the group wants to do, that is a-okay. We have made it over to Universal Studios. So we pretty much knocked out the first park pretty much in the morning by lunchtime. And then now we just get to spend the rest of our tour for Universal Studios. Now the tour itself is 8 hours long. So you pretty much get to do whatever you want, as much as you want within that 8 hours. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you do get breakfast, lunch, and dinner included. Your dinner does not have to be during your tour. You can use that dinner like a little bit later in the evening after your tour is over, so that way you're not wasting like a ton of your tour time on meals. But if you do want to do like a sit-down meal for lunch, you absolutely can. We definitely needed that good little break, but now we're refreshed and recharged to do this afternoon. And another great bonus is that when you do a VIP tour, when your tour is over, you get express pass pretty much for the rest of the day. So if there are some rides that we don't quite hit up during our tour, we miss them, we don't quite get to them, that's okay. We can still ride them with a less wait. It won't be as quick as with your VIP tour guys because they usually will take you in the back entrance, but you do still get to skip the lines, which is very nice. That was great. So again, something that I love about this tour is you get to see the parks in a different way than your normal day guests. So we just went into Men in Black. We didn't want to ride it, but we wanted to go see the queue. So in the queue, when you walk in, you go upstairs and around so you can look down. But with our tour guide, we were actually able to go downstairs in the set and get a really like close-up look at the aliens and at the desks. And if you read like the files, they had a bunch of like fun little nods to other aliens. Like they had some Transformers and then like I think like the aliens from like Simpsons and things like that. So it was really cool to be able to see some of those little Easter eggs because you can't see that as a normal day guest. The Mummy is another ride that we're hoping to kind of do a little bit of that backstage look at as well. We are nearing towards the end of our tour. Only have like less than an hour left. We're gonna go hit up Gringotts, and then I think we're gonna try and end out our day at the Mummy. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about like the logistics of booking this tour, what all of that looks like, all the fun money things. Another ride down, one more to go. So we learned kind of a fun little like secret. So if you ride in the very back row on Gringotts, at the very first drop, like so it turns you like this, right? And then it drops you. If you look up as you're going down, apparently Bellatrix will like wave to you. So next time you ride it, look up. The end of our tour. Oh my gosh, that was so fun. That was so fun. I loved that. Truly. We're gonna talk, like I said, here in a minute, we're gonna talk about kind of like the logistics of booking this and how many people you can have and pricing and all that stuff. We'll talk about that in a minute, but like overall, I would say this is definitely a tour that's worth the money because you get to do so many things that you don't necessarily get to do as a day guest. And something that's good to know is that even though your VIP tour is over, your pass gets you express for the rest of the evening. So if there were rides you didn't get to during your tour, you still get to skip the line for those. You aren't necessarily doing like backdoor entrance like you do with your tour, but you do still get to skip pretty long lines, which is fabulous. So now we are kind of rounding out our day. We're heading to Big Fire Grill for dinner, which is also a meal that is included with your tour. With the private VIP tours, you get breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm excited because I also haven't been to Big Fire before. This one's been on our list for a while to try. So we're gonna head to dinner, try some steak maybe. Okay, so dinner is done. Big Fire Grill, probably the best meal that I've had at Universal. That was very good. Everything was cooked really well. There was some good unique flavors, but I think there's also some safer options for people. I think just in general, I think I would probably recommend Big Fire.
It was excellent. Like that was absolutely delicious. Service was great.
Yeah.
And like she said, right, if you have a picky eater or even somebody with some allergies, there's a good variety of things on the menu that everybody's going to be able to find something that they enjoy.
And you can make s'mores at your table.
That was
great. I loved that. So 10 out of 10 recommend.
Yes.
But now I want to talk about kind of just the logistics of a VIP tour. So first things first, I do want to clarify that there are 2 VIP tour options. So we did what's called a private VIP tour, and then there's the non-private VIP tour. Do you want to tell them just a little bit about like what the difference between those 2 is?
Yes, so let's start with the non-private VIP tour. It's exactly like it sounds. You're not going to be just your party in the VIP tour. So in this scenario, if you're doing a non-private VIP tour, it is you and up to 12 other guests in your party group. The VIP tour guide is going to cater to everyone within that group of 12. If you have more than, I believe, 6 people in your party, you have to do a private tour. They won't let they won't let you take up the majority of the group of 12 if it's a non-private tour option. With the non-private tours, those are typically 7 hours long. You can pre-book those. Because it's non-private, they are a little bit lower on the cost, a lot lower on the cost end. It's usually between like $300 to $500 per person in that scenario.
And that does not include your park ticket. You still would need to purchase your park ticket on top of that.
Here at Universal Orlando, your park ticket is not included with VIP tours.
But I think with that one too, you also get the Express after your tour is over.
That is correct. Yes,
so if you're planning on using Express and you're not staying at one of the premier resorts, this is a great upgrade because you essentially get that Express included, and Express by itself is ridiculously expensive. Like, you may only end up spending like $100 more than if you would have bought Express. Correct. So I think that is definitely a really, really good upgrade. So then the private VIP tours, this is kind of like your ultimate bougie Universal experience, and you get so much included. So let's talk about what's all included first, and then we'll talk about price so that you can kind of see, like, you really do get a really good bang for your buck for this, I think.
Yes. So with the private VIP tour, it's going to be 8 hours. And the biggest difference here is that it is just your party with your VIP tour guide, and they are 100% catering to whatever you want during your 8-hour tour. So if you're like, we want to do as many rides as possible, let's go, 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 like, they will take you there. And the great part about how they take you there is you don't just go through like the express lane to get to the rides. Like, we took back doors, we went underneath a roller coaster to go ride a ride. So like, cool. You literally get to do these amazing background secret things that get you there so much faster. Like, they're going to make sure that you do everything. Today, our goal was a little bit more. We wanted to see a lot. We did 17 rides, but it was like a very comfortable, casual pace.
It didn't feel like we did 7. Like, we were counting, and I was like,
counted, we were like, wait, what? Did we really do that much? Like, but that was just the pace that we were able to set with our guide, who was excellent. Yes. They gave us some really fun behind the scenes tips and facts. Like, it was so nice, but it's 100% catered to exactly what your party wants. The base rate starts for 5 guests, and then you can add on additional guests to your party in that case.
Yeah, so for example, with our group today, we had 6 total people, so we were able to add me on for that additional rate. Prices for that do fluctuate depending on the season and crowds. Do you have any idea? Like,
so typically, base rate is somewhere around $3,000 per day. Again, that's starting with like 5 guests in your party, and
that's for your group price, not per person.
It's not per person in this scenario. It's going to be the total, and then it can go upwards of like $5,000 to $7,000. So like, if you're going on Christmas Day, you're probably spending about $7,000 or higher.
But when you think about it, so the things that you're included. So again, this is 8 hours. That's basically the whole day. You get Express for the rest of your day after your tour is over. You get 3 meals included, including 2 sit-down meals, like reservation-type meals.
If that's what you want.
If you want to do that. You can do quick service if you want to. You have that option, but like, even just the amount of food that we got for our meal was a lot. We had, for the table, we got 3 appetizers for the table. Each person got an entree, a dessert, and a non-alcoholic beverage.
Yeah, so I believe it's an appetizer for every 2 people. So if there's 2 people, so if you had a party of 4, you would get 2 appetizers to be able to share at the table. Each person gets their own entree. You can have non-alcoholic beverages that are included with that. And then if you want alcohol or more specialty beverages, you can just pay for those in addition.
I would say like those meals were probably several $100 meals.
Absolutely.
For sure. I mean, even just, I got the filet mignon at dinner, and that was
it starts at $45. I think $47.
Yeah. So it was a $50 steak, and we all got fillets. So there were 6 of us. So it was, and that's just the entree.
And it was just the entree.
We got all the desserts, and we got all left. It was, so like, you can kind of do the math there. You also get your ride photos included, which is a really fun thing, because like, I'm somebody that I don't typically do the ride photos at Universal because I don't pay extra for that for every day that I come. But it was nice that like, we knew we were doing a ton of rides today, and we were doing it in a group, and so it was nice to be able to get all of those photos. We got some great
very fun photos.
That was super cool.
You also get valet parking included if you happen to drive. So we didn't have to use that service for today, but you are able to get valet parking, and you actually get the photo pass for 3 days.
Ooh.
So it starts on the day of your VIP tour, and this is only for the private version, but you get the photo pass service, and it extends for 3 additional days. And then with your VIP badge for that day, you get discounts on things like food and merchandise and some of those kinds of things. So
yeah,
it's a really nice deal.
And these are a fun little memorabilia that you get to take home. So you really get a lot included. We've both done Disney VIP tours before, and I personally think that you get a much better value out of this tour. I think you get a lot more of the behind the scenes information that you really don't get as a day guest, and you get so much done. We keep talking about, like, we just had so much fun today. It was a really good time, and our
guide was absolutely amazing.
Yeah, shout out to Logan. Logan was so fantastic.
Good.
So if you can request Logan, because he was great. Now, if this is something that you are interested in doing for your vacation, remember, Amy is a travel consultant with Goofy Getaways. She's actually the one that brought me to Goofy Getaways in the first place. So even though I'm not booking anymore, all my clients are going to her.
Come find us at Goofy Getaways. We would love to help.
Yeah, but she can book this for you and help walk you through that process. And she can even help talk to you and determine on whether or not a private or non-private might be better for your family. So if you want more information with booking with her or with Goofy Getaways in general, I'll have that linked in the description box below. I hope you guys enjoyed following along on my very crazy, chaotic day. And that is all we have for you guys today. Now go create your ever after.